Welcome to the Pharma Voice Editor's Take video series, filmed live at the 2013 DIA Annual Meeting in Boston, hosted by Taryn Grome, editor of Pharma Voice. In this episode, Taryn meets with Mark Taggart, founder, Patient Reminders, Cenduit.
Mark, welcome to the 2013 DIA Editor's Take video program.
Thank you.
We're happy to have you here. Talk to us a little bit about Cenduit. You've just announced its acquisition of Patient Reminders. Tell us more about this unique service and how it benefits sponsors, patients, and sites.
We benefit patient sponsors and sites by helping patients attend clinic on time. So they get little useful alerts and reminders via text, email, SMS, and voice messages to do the things that they need to do in the clinical trial. And what that means is that patients attend on time, they're dosed correctly, they're fasted if they need to be fasted, and it means that the data that's collected at the site visit is much stronger.
More than 85% of clinical trials fail to retain enough patients.
Yep.
The typical patient dropout rate is between 30 and 45% and continues to increase.
Yep.
How will Patient Reminders address this problem?
Through useful reminders. So patients lead busy lives and they don't mean to not forget to turn up for their visits, and they don't mean not to dose. But what typically happens in a clinical trial is that the longer the duration of the trial and the less frequent the visits, it's really hard for patients to remember to what they're doing. So what we've specialized is in building a piece of technology that allows us to send very personalized messages. So don't forget to attend in 5 days' time on this date at this time. Call this telephone number if you can't attend. So how that helps everybody is the patient remains compliant from the start. And it means that they're actually participating in the study. And you can imagine if you'd agreed and signed up to join a clinical trial, how you would feel really bad if you didn't start to be compliant. And then eventually, it's just easier to drop out of the study. So we feel that helping patients comply and participate really makes a big difference. And we do that with useful alerts for the different stakeholders.
There are so many patients in that boomer category that are aging, and there are so many drugs that are needed to address that growing patient population. How are you addressing this population's needs that may not be so tech savvy?
I agree with you, and my gran, for example, doesn't have a cell phone. So what we've done is we've developed voice messaging capability within the system, and it's really neat. So you'll get a call to your home phone. We're also support stakeholders in the study. So this might be a caregiver. So for me, I might be looking after my gran. I would get reminders. Don't forget, we're taking gran to the hospital, and so on and so forth. And other things like, let's say you're a social worker. Then wouldn't it be great to actually remind the social workers? The language in the message content would be very different for a social worker as it would for me taking care of my gran, for example. So it's a mixture of voice, text messages to the different stakeholders to cover that.
Excellent. Now, Cenduit's mantra is happier sites. How does Patient Reminders enhance site profitability, compliance, and happiness?
Okay, so from your earlier questions, you can imagine you're going to have more sites turning up on time, in the correct state, doing the things they need to do, like returning with medications. And so what happens for the site is they then are actually seeing the patients on time. It means that their schedules are correctly loaded, and because we send alerts and reminders at -5 days before the visit, -2 days on the day to remember to attend with your medication packages and all the other things you need to do, all of a sudden you now have really productive visits. And if you don't have a productive visit, the patient is motivated to call you and reschedule. So efficiency all round, really.
Fantastic. Now my final question is, what do you hope to gain out of the DIA conference this year?
Okay, well obviously more customers, also the exposure of, we're delighted to have been acquired by Cenduit. They're fantastic technology and great pedigree and a large base of clients. So it's really announcing this marriage, well it's not really marriage and acquisition, and our integration into the Cenduit business.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Additional Editors Take videos, as well as podcasts, white papers, webinars, and more are available in the resources area at www.pharmavoice.com.